Yeah, after my own transition to coming back from Afghanistan, having my own struggles, and getting on the other side of it, I recognized the problem was much bigger than myself. I didn't have an isolated incident. This was a systemic problem that our military community was going through because of us serving in two consecutive wars, back-to-back deployments for so many people over a 20-year period. In addition to that, the military had been a culture that was long hurting because of a broken system that was in place to care for them. And so I knew that whenever you go through hardship, you take the lessons you learn in that hardship and you pass it down. If you're in combat and you do a deployment, and that deployment was hard, you lost guys, you had some hard losses, you faced the enemy in the battlefield, and you learn their tactics and their techniques and their procedures. You know their means and methods for ambushing, and you don't just high five the next rotating unit in and go home. No, you do a left seat and right seat with them. You teach them about what they're about to go into, and you prepare them so they could win the battle in front of them. That's what we do in the military. So for me, coming out of that myself, I'm like, it's not okay for me to be well. That's great for me, but I have just come out of the battle, and I need to pay it forward and share the lessons that I learned in my own journey with those coming behind me. And so I just felt this deep burden on my heart that God was just tugging on me and saying that I had to take these experiences and pay it forward to the next generation of warfighters, and that manifested in the founding of Mighty Oaks Foundation, and it did so with a great deal of passion because of what I just came from, and a burden to do it right. That started off with veterans, and as we started serving veterans, I recognized something that I think is really important as we talk about it's really important when we talk about the space of caring for veterans in the military community, is that I looked at this number in the suicide rates on the active duty at the time was 1 a day. And the suicide rate on the veteran community was 21 a day. And so I said, why are we waiting until they get out to start serving them? Why don't we catch them in the transition? So Mighty Oaks' mission took a shift from helping a veteran to helping the transitioning service member who is leaving a support group and moving off into a life of independence, and so and not being connected to that support group. And so we started catching them in transition, and then we said, hey, how about let's catch them before and provide resiliency training to really prevent the problem on the front end, with the idea that an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure, and we could do that through taking veterans who have experienced these hardships, go on the front end, help prepare these service members for the things that they're going to face so they can become more resilient to the hardships of military service. And that started our resiliency program, where today, I have spoken to over 500,000 active duty troops on bases around the world, to include places like boot camp and all like some of the special operations training units and pipelines. And so we continue to look for ways to not just help those who serve that are dealing with the hardships, but prepare them on the front end to be able to overcome those hardships in advance through preparation and through resiliency of the lessons learned from those who went before them.